I mean, it does have a small story, a little blurb. It just says, we took this same philosophy used to create a superior, affordable, easy sipping bourbon, then didn't add any water. Uncut, non-chilled filtered, fruit forward with lots of candy flower, flavors, cinnamon spice, and plenty of heat. Plenty of heat, like Nevada. You're out in the desert, you want some heat? We're going to bring you the heat. I'm Dan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is Bourbon Sauce. Welcome back for another Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. This week, we've got a special for you guys. We're doing a flight of Smoke Wagon, which Ryan found these like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like bottom shelf 2 years ago.
Yes.
And now they're kind of becoming more sought after. And it's a shock that they're as good as they are because, one, it's got a higher rye bill in them, which I'm not a giant rye fan.
Me neither.
But for whatever reason, these ones are blended well enough that it kind of suits our fancy, if you will.
I tend to find them to be a rather fruity, a little on the sweeter side.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they are sourced from MGP for now.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like they're almost at the point where they've got enough made where they'll start be putting out their own juice very soon. But for now, these ones are all MGP sourced. We've got the straight bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the uncut, unfiltered.
Younger.
Then it's the small batch.
Yep.
And then the uncut, unfiltered,
which
is basically their higher proof.
Yes.
In the hierarchy. It's like in that order. So we're not doing it blind. We know exactly what's in each cup. We're using the Agent Or flights, which are great and helpful for this. Not only that, but we're cheering on our home teams.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody can talk some schmack now that college football's right around the corner.
And for the gamers out there, college football 25, after over a decade of being gone, is now back.
College game day. Boy, what's up? I played that. The pre-release stuff. The trial. I did the trial or whatever because I didn't get the pre-release in time. Just the way I remembered it. It can be spicy. But the Road to Glory is a good ass thing.
Yes, it is.
I love that. That's fun. So I'm looking forward to getting into that game, but I'm more looking forward to us trying these and seeing what we think about them.
I'm ready.
What do you know about the first one? Do you know what the mash bill is by any chance?
So the mash bill on the straight bourbon is a 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% malted barley.
Nice. So that one's gonna have a little bite to it.
Did we say this was Nevada H&C Distilling Company?
No, we just said it's Smoke Wagon, but it is,
Produced
Aaron and Jonathan are the ones that started it. And they're out there in the great deserts of Las Vegas area. Which if we ever get a chance to go to Vegas, we're gonna have to stop by there for sure.
Right.
And see those folks. But I like their bottling too. The way the labels are, man, they put some effort in these.
They absolutely did, especially as you climb up the hierarchy.
Yeah, I like the embossment. Those are fancy. And they remind me of something that you would see like, I don't know, like a Wild West movie or
I agree.
Something along those lines.
And then it's kind of like the King seal of approval here.
Yeah, with the wax seal. I love that. That's great. So this one's in our first one. We've already got them poured. So we don't have to fuck around with that. But definitely a light caramel color.
Yes.
Looks good. It's not too viscous.
You immediately get like a honey caramel off the nose.
I definitely get that honey and like a cinnamon something, like a
It's like a toasted cinnamon.
like a pumpkin spice.
Really?
Yeah. But I get a light oak on it.
Yeah.
And these ones aren't. This one's. I don't think this one's older. I think this is a younger bourbon too. Yeah, and this one is. Oh my lord. 92.5 proof. So it's a little on the low side of proofing, but it's climbing. It's climbing up there for sure. It says aged a minimum of 39 months. Okay. Just over 3 years. Taste it already? Did you already taste it?
I did.
Snazzy bastard.
I did. Definitely a like a toffee Werther's kind of thing there on the front end.
Yeah, I get a lot of oak up front.
Mm-hmm.
Hits me first because it's got a quick finish on this one. Didn't linger very long, but it is still very ethanol-y because of it being so young, I think.
Yeah. You can feel it hang around on the back side of your tongue, a little bit of the spice itself.
Yeah.
I get a little hint of tobacco, nothing too ostentatious.
Ooh, that's a big word.
Ah, no, I'm building my vocabulary. I still haven't found a different word for smooth, though.
No, that's my favorite.
Now, I do so if you start way back, clear your nose, and then as you come in, like the first smell I get from right about here is pure caramel.
Interesting.
From right about here, it's just pure caramel.
See, now I get vanilla from that distance. Like a vanilla bean.
See, I get the vanilla once I get in the glass. But that caramel hits me up front.
Yeah, and then when I get in closer, then I get the caramel.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting how different people's, your nose picks up different smells better than others, right? Mm-hmm. And then your palate picks up on different flavors as opposed to others.
Yeah, it is deep. Interesting on that, but it does have a little bit of that rye finish.
Yep.
But it's not like a crazy amount for it being 36%.
No.
Which is a shock.
Yeah, 36%, I would expect a heftier burn.
A heftier burn.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny to say that. But then we go on to the next one, which is the Uncut Younger.
Now, this one was actually... Is
that the first one we found?
No, the first one was this one.
Okay.
MSRP on this is about $30, and I was finding it pretty regularly at that price.
Yeah.
Now it's averaging around 35 to 38, depending on where you find it.
Yep.
Riverbend, over here on Riverside in Clarksville, is still the cheapest place around. I found it. They're right at $30, $31.
That's pretty good because I think I got that one in Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't remember which one you had, but I ended up filling the rest of the gap from Dixon store.
Yeah, because at one point we had all these and we drank them all.
Yeah. Well, it was during the fall, winter time, and the fire was roaring. Yeah. And the bourbon was flowing.
They never made it to the podcast.
And they never made it to the podcast last year because we drank them so much.
Yeah.
But, so that's why we had to do it this year. So the second one, it's younger, as they state. So it's basically a 4-year, but again, it's still really light in the color, not super viscous. It's not real oily and doesn't really kind of hang on the glass too much.
No, it does not. The legs roll off really quickly. It's like sprinter's legs. They're just, and it's gone.
Yeah. And this one doesn't have as much of that ethanol-y smell to it to me. I do get a rye note and oak.
Yeah. Mm.
Again, I get that like cinnamon baking.
Yep. I definitely get a little bit of like candy-ish notes. But I will say the nose on this one is not as prominent as the nose was on this one.
Right. I agree with that. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Since we forgot to do the first one.
Now that one's
got rye.
I get...
Boy.
I can tell a difference in the texture.
Mm-hmm.
Even like on the glass, it's not got a lot of viscosity. The legs run really quickly, but I instantly get like a creamy texture across my tongue from it. Not oily, just creamy.
Yeah.
Kind of a little rich texture, surprisingly.
So this one's just slightly older than the straight.
Mm-hmm. You definitely get a little more of the rye.
Oh boy, does that have a rye finish on this one, for sure. There's like
but it still drinks way, way softer than you would expect that rye content.
Yeah. And I think the interesting thing on this one is it's like a buttery, spicy butter.
Yeah, that's where I was getting with the creaminess, like a butter.
Yeah. But that's pretty good.
It's almost like it's not, I guess, like there's definitely a little bit of cinnamon there. Nothing crazy. Like when I get down in it, I definitely get a heavier fruit smell. But it's like I have to get down in the glass.
Yeah. It's like I don't know if it's apple or. By the way, the tree in the backyard had an apple on it. I ate it.
Oh, yeah?
It tasted pretty good. It was a good size. It was like.
Was it a crab apple?
No, it's like a red delicious, or like you could see the. Well, no, I think I threw the other ones off because they were rotting. But
oh wow!
So that was the first big apple that it's produced in the couple years I've been here at this house.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. Let's go move on to the next one. The next one is kind of interesting because
it's their small batch.
It is their small batch. And all these basically have the exact same mash bill that I'm noticing.
Yes.
It's just the aging and the pricing and the intricacy of the bottle kind of changes.
Yeah, and you can tell as you look at the colorations of them as it continues up the line. Like this is like a cross between like a gold and copper blend.
Yeah. This one's got a little bit more viscosity to it.
Yeah.
Than the other two for sure.
This one's what, about 100 proof?
I think this one is 100 proof. Let's see.
So this is going to be similar.
This one's right. Interesting.
What's that?
I'm blind as fuck. It's 100 proof right on the dot.
Okay.
It's hard to see with the glare from the lights. You know what I mean? Studio woes. This one has more rye again.
See, I get the caramel again on this one up front, and then I get into a little bit of vanilla.
This one I get like a floral note that I didn't get on the other ones.
I can kind of smell that. A little bit of, what is that, aromatics?
Something. It's like it smells like petunias.
When I get a real deep whiff, it kind of tickles my nose hairs. Yeah, it tickles my nose hairs just a little.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
This one's got like a
more wood up front, more oak up front.
yes. It's got a granularity to it also that I didn't have in the other ones. But it also, being 100 proof, has a little bit more punch to it.
I completely.
I like it though. I like this one so far the better of the three that we've had.
Like for me, I lose the burn and everything off this one. Like this is.
I don't smell as much ethanol.
This is super smooth.
It's smooth over.
Smooth. It's very smooth. Like but there's not really any burn to it. Definitely getting the dry oak.
The finish lasts a little longer.
The caramel. A little bit of leatheriness.
Definitely a lot more oakiness.
Mm-hmm.
Way more.
But I'm not really getting any of that. Like I can get the spice, but it's nothing. Whereas on these, you can definitively tell there's a good bit of rye.
Yeah.
But they're still not overpowering.
And the highest one that we've got in their hierarchy.
And these vary, by the way, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, those have different batch numbers. This one's...
this is 172D.
These nuts.
March 4th of 2023.
Yep.
The day after Mom's birthday.
That's funny.
Now, where is the...
You said March?
Yes.
Your mom's in March too?
She's 3 March.
That's funny. I'm March.
Yeah,
your mom's March.
Yeah.
My cousin's March. My brother's March. Come on, March your way out of this conversation.
But it doesn't say what the proof is.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it?
No.
I thought it said it down there in the bottom. That was like 117 or something like that. On the back? Does it not say it on the back?
No, it's 172D.
I thought there was a proof on there somewhere. But maybe I'm mistaken.
A few moments later.
I'm pretty sure that that's a higher proof. Just because of it being like they're almost like a barrel proof on that one.
Well, I know there's like some way to calculate it.
Does it say the percentage? Per alcohol per volume?
It does. It's 58.06.
Oh, yeah. That's like 117.
Yeah.
Because 46 is 90.
Yep.
And just Google 57%.
How many milliliters is this?
750.
You know, I should know that.
You'd think so. Being bourbon people, we should probably be a little bit more rehearsed on this, huh?
Yeah, you would think.
You'd think so. But anyway, the color is about the same. It's a little bit darker, not too much. Still not super oily.
116 proof.
Now, so I was off by one.
Yeah.
This is 117, it's 116.
Yeah, because it's 58.06.
Yeah. And that changes, obviously, by the batch.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure the one we had before was like 120.
It was.
Yeah, that one was
this one's a darker coloration, too.
It was a howler, that first one we had.
I get a lot of fruit on that.
I get tobacco.
I get some tobacco. It's almost like an apple tobacco. Reminds me of like
I get that.
the
I can
old
see that.
apple chewing tobacco.
I was thinking pipe tobacco.
Mm-hmm. I could see that too.
Like, you know how old men used to sit around and pack their pipe and light it up?
Yep.
That's what it reminds me of when you smell that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Interesting. A lot of oak.
A lot of oak. There's definitely the spice there. but not super spicy.
This one's definitely, you could tell it's a rye for sure.
Yeah. There's definitely like a lot of allspice and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, again, I was thinking pumpkin spice, but I'm thinking they're kind of in the same wheelhouse. Baking spices, it's what I think that most people just categorize them all as baking spices without getting too specific. Like we were joking about in like earlier episodes where people become real obscure and precise and like, well, I think it's whatever the fuck spice.
Posh. It's
sporty spice.
Posh spice.
We both were thinking the same stupid thing.
We were going down that same. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Idiots.
Yep. This is what happens when you hang around too much.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me like when I'm tasting it though, like the initial hit. It's kind of like when you kind of roll a cigar around on your tongue.
Yeah, I was thinking that pepperiness that you get off of a cigar wrapper. Mm-hmm. I was getting that because it tingles your lips a bit.
Yep.
But I think of the four, this one has the best taste. It has more butteriness. It has more of everything, really.
Yeah. I'm still like the younger Uncut.
Yeah.
And this one.
Well, we can go back and figure it out. Your board, by the way, is by your foot.
Oh, is it?
And I changed it up for this one.
Oh, no.
Because we have a different lineup going on.
He didn't tell me this was here. And now he's sneaking this in on me. I
know. That's tragic, but we have to have a grid that makes sense. Because we got 4 bottles.
Mm-hmm. This is very well done. You can tell that he did it and I didn't do it.
I actually used these trays for lines to line it up. It fit perfectly over this.
That makes total sense.
Because I was like, I don't have a fucking ruler in this house. I was like, I can go out into the garage and get the tape measure and all that bullshit for a straight edge. I was like, I can cut a piece of cardboard and create a template.
I'm surprised that didn't come into board tape. Or you got it all taped out in grids.
I thought about getting that board tape, but the problem is we change these up so often.
Yep.
We'd have to have like various boards where it'd be like, oh, well, we're just doing one bottle, or we're doing multiples, we're doing a flight,
right?
Whatever. But
so MSRP on this is about $30-ish bucks.
Yeah, and
MSRP on this is about
42.
42. This one was,
I think that one's 60,
and then this one was 80,
maybe.
I think.
But it's hard to figure out because I remember when we first got them years ago, they were all about 40 to 60 bucks.
It was 30, 40, 50, 60 originally.
Yeah, so that one, this should retail the top one for 70.
Yep.
But I think I got it for about 80.
Okay.
And
I want to say it's about 70 to 75 at Riverbend.
Yeah.
Riverbend has all of them, and they're still the cheapest place I've found for them all.
Yeah, Riverbend does really good. If people are curious, they're here in the Clarksville area. If you go down Riverside Drive and you go down and you're going down 48.
Yep. They're just
right next to the marathon.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So they're a great little store. They've got great selection.
I would say their selection's not the best.
No, but where they're at.
They leave a lot to be desired on selection. But what I will say is what they carry and their prices are pretty damn awesome. And they've almost always got some allocated.
Yeah, and they got it hidden. And you have to hit it at the right time because there's only 2 people, I think, that are allowed or authorized.
She lets them all now.
Oh, does she?
But like this, so that now when you come in, there's that display case. Mm-hmm. Everything sitting on top of that is like what they're allocating.
Oh.
So they'll put 1 out a day, essentially.
Nice.
But if you know the right person, you go in, you talk, and you...
And next thing you know, they give you something special.
Exactly. But they tend to end up with a lot of E.H. Taylor small batch. They end up with some Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace, and then the occasional random one-offs. But usually, I think they get a delivery every Tuesday there. So, yeah, if you're in the Clarksville area, they're definitely worth taking a gander.
A few moments later.
All right. So, after a long pause, we welcome you back. And we're going to read off our scores that we gave these beautiful bottles from Smoke Wagon. Starting from the bottom.
I gave a 7 on smell.
Oh, okay. I gave it a 6. What about taste?
6.
I gave it a 5. Drinkability?
7.
I gave it a 7 also. Price?
10.
Oh, boy, I gave it a 9.
I gave it a 10 on the price.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really good price for what you're getting,
Yes.
for sure. Share or not?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Overall was 7.5.
Yeah, it was 6.75. So real close on that one.
Hmm? And then we got the younger unfiltered.
Uncut and unfiltered.
Yep.
Uncircumcised.
Yep. 6.5 on the smell.
I gave it a 6.
I was 7 on the taste.
I bumped up from the first one by 1 to a 6.
Yep. See, and I bumped up from the first one. Drinkability, I gave it an 8.
Ooh, I gave it a 7.
All right. You're coming on up. Price,
9 again.
I gave it a 9.
Yeah.
And then share was a yes.
Yep.
Overall, 7.6.
Overall, 7 flat.
Nice. All right. What about your next one? What'd you do?
For smell, I did a 7.
And that's for this one right here, the
small batch.
For smell, I did a 6.
Taste?
6.
I did a 6 also.
Drinkability?
A 7 again.
I'm at a 7.
And then price?
8.
Yeah, I gave it a 9. So they're about, hovering around the same price point.
Yeah, they're pretty close.
And for what you're getting, share or not?
Yes.
For sure. I said share.
This was overall my lowest, 6.7.
I had 7.25.
Yeah.
So I'm slowly stepping up.
Yeah.
As we go here.
This was my lowest.
And the uncut, unfiltered, the father of them all.
7 on the nose.
Okay.
What did you do?
I did a 7 also.
What about taste?
I did an 8.
I did a 6.5.
Ooh, you dropped on that.
I did. Drinkability?
I did an 8.
I gave it an 8.
Okay.
Price?
I gave it 10.
I gave it an 8.
Wow. All right, we're polarized a little on that.
Share?
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then my overall was a 7.3.
8.25.
My 2 highest were these on the overalls.
Interesting. I am shocked by that, to be honest. Mine, as you would anticipate, slowly went up as you go to the top. Price, I was a little generous, but for being that it's a higher proof, it comes in a clever bottle.
I mean, you get really good bang
batches.
for your buck on all of these.
Yeah. And so I think because of it being a cask strength-esque, limited to batches, and the price that you pay, about $80, that's better than a lot of these other ones that you're paying over $100 for.
100%.
So for me, that's why I gave it a 10, just to justify for everybody, if anybody really cares why.
I mean, I will gladly go pick any of these up from the store over Blanton's or some of these others.
Any of those other single barrels? Yeah, for sure. I would even do that one over a Stag.
This one?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just for the price perspective?
Price perspective, the availability, and flavor.
Can see that, yep.
I think the flavor is comparative as far as, what you're getting. And it being a higher rye, which is a shock because most people know I don't like ryes. Yeah. And for me to even want that over something that's a wheated is a shock.
I will say these were one of the best Ryan finds to surprise you.
Yeah, I'm waiting for when we get into the benchmarks. Out of these 4, if you had to rank them 1 through 4, how would you rank yours?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Mine would be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So almost inverse in a way.
Yep.
This should be the bottom, which it is, with it being just kind of a straight.
I just lose so much in the small batch on this one that it just wasn't for me. The other ones, though,
I guess the taste is a little less lackluster than
the younger uncut unfiltered. It tastes really good to me, and it's out of all of them when I've drank them, it's the one I prefer. Now, if I'm going to pick something else, then it's going to be this one.
You know what's funny is this one's butterier
Correct.
than that one.
Yes, this is the one that we were talking and was very creamy, buttery.
Yeah. I'm not going to revise my board. I'm going to leave it as is, but it does have me second guessing.
I don't know what they're doing with this one to make it that much creamier and butterier than the rest.
Because it doesn't say anything on the bottle. It doesn't give you any sort of a story or any sort of like reasoning. It just, I mean, it does have a small story, a little blurb. It just says, we took this same philosophy used to create a superior, affordable, easy sipping bourbon, then didn't add any water. Uncut, non-chilled filtered, fruit forward with lots of candy flower, flavors, cinnamon spice, and plenty of heat. Plenty of heat, like Nevada. You're out in the desert, you want some heat? We're going to bring you the heat. Oh, if you guys are curious, we do have a Patreon. You can go over to our website, which the link will be down in the description, and you can join, and you will see exclusive content, as well as allows you to be added into a raffle that we do on our TikTok
Every month.
At the end of every month.
Also, check out the swag site.
Swag.
Go get a t-shirt, hoodie. You know, it's summer's getting close. We're going back to school, so we're getting back into that.
A hoodie
fall's
season.
Starting to come out, so you might want to get a Tony the Toad approved or a bourbon sauced hoodie. I'm just saying.
Either way, this was our review of the Smoke Wagon and their hierarchy from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom. Now we're here, and yeah.
Until next time,
drink your favorite bourbon.
Get sauced.
Cheers.
Cheers.